the gleam of her teeth, and I care nothing about them, where they came from, where they would go, if I did not meet them on the way. But I dislike him. I want him dead and will have him dead. Well done yourself. Where did you find them? She said nothing. She had receded to a dark armchair and sat back against two large bread. Her looks were free. Her locks were yellow as gold. Her skin was as white as leprosy. The night a bit of yellow silk visible for a moment in the narrowing dark, then gone. My companion. A lamp died very slowly behind a broad scrim of heavy lace. The shadow of the pattern on the brick expanding, growing faint, appeared the low stone bank of a river, and above that, beyond that, the glittering waters of the river itself. This whole three-dimensional world produced in painting upon a fine silk scrim that shivered only slightly in a faint draught. A sprinkling of applause greeted the illusion, gathering adherents from all parts of the auditorium until it reached its shore. And then she started back as she laid eyes on him and, slowly setting down her basket, made her hands into the attitude of prayer. She was tired. Her head leaned now on her hands as if in sleep, and she reached out for him, supplicating. But as he came towards her, he bent to look directly into her face, which was all shadows to us beneath her hair, and started back then, waving his hand as if to freshen the air.
Oh, classic bit of undertaking.
Erupted uncertainly from the audience.
It's a bit of a shit
As the old woman rose and took after death, the laughter took over. I sat watching, listening, one hand shielding my lowered face from anyone and no one, my elbow resting on the rail, the passion in me subsiding, the taste of the girl on my lips. It was as though on the smell of the rain, bearable possibility of disappointment. And yet there was the question, the awful, ancient, hounding question of evil. I think I put my hands to my head, as mortals do.
That's a genius bit of parking, that.
And her lips parted, but only with a short intake of breath. Then she said, "Well, and you are right, indeed. We are evil."
Oh, nice. Well
I
done.
want to burn the doll
For
shop.
fuck's sake.
Madeleine told us this. A mystery. I do not need him, this vampire, anymore. I was gifted with eternal life, with heightened perception, and with a need to kill.
Slightly
I quickly
later
explained,
choice of
because the vampire who
lane
made
change?
me wanted the house I owned and my money. Do you understand such? She was staring at me, the blood staining her open mouth. An eternity seemed to pass as she stared. She doubled and tripled in my blurred vision, then
You are
collapsed
fucking kidding
into
me.
one trembling shape. Her hand moved to her mouth, yet her eyes did not move but grew large in her as she stared. And then she rose slowly, not as if by her own power, but as if lifted from the couch bodily by some invisible force which held her now, staring as she turned round and round, her massive skirt moving stiff as if she were all of a piece, turning like grabbing hold of it, pressing it between her fingers so it zinged and rustled, and she let it fall, quickly covering her ears, her eyes shut tight, then opened wide again. And then it seemed she saw the lamp, the distant low gas lamp of the other room that gave a fragile light through the double doors, and she ran to it and stood beside it, watching it as if it were alive.
What are you doing?
"Don't touch it," Claudia said to her,
Jesus
and gently
Christ.
guided her away. But Madeleine has seen the